Hello, my name is EruptionFang, and welcome back to how 11 little roosters should be solved. Last week, the Italian Defense Division eliminated the French Association of Professionals. So, let's see if we can find out who is going to be killed this week. Now, Bernardo Bernardici's been feeling a little down on the respect he's been getting by the other assassins. Because of this, he makes a new hymn, a modern hymn. But after he leaves the mirror, there is a QR code that can be scanned. This takes you to Haywood file number 11. It reads, quote, "The little roosters are more fractured than ever, so it's been harder to track everyone's movements and motives. That said, I have been able to chart the next two events at the very least. First, it seems the SS boys, despite some infighting, are headed to Italy for a concert. Could they be targeting the IDD? Next, Russia has scheduled a match of its famed national game, though I'm currently unclear on the specifics. Comrade Haddam will surely be involved, but is he predator or prey in this mysterious match to the death?" End quote. Now whatever this game is, it is going to be to the death, meaning Haddam is already in the running to be either the assassin or the target. Now this file also told us that the Sex von Shackle boys are headed to Italy for a concert, so let's go to that video to find our next clue. Similar to the first concert, there are individuals scattered throughout the crowd wearing shirts with letters or numbers on them. However, this time, there are a few decoys to try and throw you off. Just make sure to pick the ones with the girl. After gathered, you're taken to Haywood file number 12. It reads, quote, "Seems the boys are having a little more trouble than I thought, but that should keep them safe for now. In the meantime, I've dug up a bit more of Adam's reign as champion of the national game. I was able to pull a few Russian words from the intercepted transmission, which made it sound like some strange mix of building and combat. Some kind of real-time strategy competition, perhaps. The few words I understood praised Haddam's skill as constructing stene, something especially prized by Russia. Sounds like matches typically end in a gridlock, with Haddam waiting to perform a glinier block. He must parry and attack after this, because his opponent is immediately defeated. Apparently it's a popular strategy, but Haddam is extremely lucky. Unsure if I've interpreted this right." End quote. The two words in that, when translated, mean walls and long block. We are getting much closer as to figuring out the game as to which they are playing, but for now, we can't draw any conclusions. Also, due to the Shackle Boys concert, they are safe for the time being. The next clue comes to us in the book Marquise was reading. When you stop to see what exactly the book was about, it is the script for Ruby Volume 4, Chapter 3, where our next clue resides. When Yang is flipping through the channel eventually reaches Vox News. Towards the bottom of the screen, it scrolls by the text that says, "Authorities baffled with mysterious code. That code is your next clue." It reads, quote, "Apparently, Russia is hoping for a show of dominance on their home turf, similar to their victory in Sochi in 2014. They didn't fare too well in Rio, and would ideally like to embarrass one of the countries that defeated them 2 years after their great victory." End quote. Because Russia would like to beat someone who beat them in Rio, that leaves either the CIA or the MI6 to be against the KGB. For the next Haywood file, it can be a little hard to spot, but throughout random portions of the video, there are hidden blue letters or numbers buried in red design. When you gather them, you get the next Haywood file. It reads, quote, "Several pieces of scattered intel. Out of many, one organization is out of pocket this week and won't be able to participate in the game. And that little rooster is, shit. I forgot. I'll think on it. In the meantime, I've learned the game is apparently a recreation of its founder's original vision, a founder by the name of Pajitnov." End quote. The man to which Ryan is referring is Alexei Pajitnov, the creator of Tetris. Now in this file, the words "out of many, one" is bolded. Now if you take an American coin, usually on the tail side of it, you will see this blurb. That is Latin. When translated, it means "out of many, one," meaning the CIA was the organization Ryan forgot. That frees them from either being the killer or getting killed. So we are left with the MI6 and the KGB. However, we still don't know who is assassin or target. The final clue comes to us on the sheet music the Sex von Shackle boys have. There are bolded lyrics, and when you take that and the notes between them, you get the next file. It reads, quote, "There have been numerous rumors of Haddam cheating in his national game matches, though there's never been a proven incident. This is likely fueled by the fact that, As an underworld event, the security can be a bit lax, and opponents have smuggled in items before. However, due to the scale of the competition, it's apparently hard to imagine someone sneaking in anything actually useful, much less tip the match in their favor, especially once match becomes gridlocked at the end as they often do. Without that, I'd have to predict a Haddam victory." End quote. Now you might imagine that means that the outcome is signed, sealed, and done. However, Ryan predicted a Haddam victory, but it came in the form of an if-then-else statement. If no one has anything useful to help them win, Haddam is the victor. But if someone did have something useful, then they win. He said that it's hard to imagine anyone smuggling in anything useful. Well, the MI6 has something very useful, a shrink ray, which grows things. Because Gavin has this item, the MI6 is to eliminate the KGB. And that is how you're supposed to solve episode 3 of 11 Little Roosters. Be sure to tune in next week to find out who is going to be next.